One more for DJ. Vasiljevic. What a night he's had.
I would have loved to retire for the rest of my life.
The 36ers have officially parted ways with co-captain DJ Vasiljevic.
You get attached to players and then they go.
When I posted that Instagram post of saying goodbye, now I really felt it.
Are most shooters a little bit delusional?
Maybe some, but I'm definitely not. You're 3J now, because you're shooting from deep.
Whoa. DJ from handling beats. Here's DJ at three-quarter time. Vasiljevic from deep on the floor.
Takes a certain individual to be a professional athlete.
People want to be the next Dallas Lawbridge or the Steph Talbots of the world. If it wasn't for my sister in basketball, who knows, I would never come to Adelaide or never play the game.
Not many people actually find something they love doing.
Basketball's not forever, and you got to be able to guide your kids or your kids' kids to understand this is what I created.
Are you taking it or passing it?
Shooting it. You're tripping.
Okay, here we are, Ducks Don't Get Cold Feet, and we are so excited to have DJ, and I'm going to try and say this, Vasiljevic.
Correct.
Yes, I got it. So, ex-co-captain of the Adelaide 36ers, NBL dual championship winner with the Sydney Kings, and recently just gone to a new club over there in the Big Ditch, going over to New Zealand. Welcome.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, JP.
I'm very excited. Fair to say, you've got a lot going on right now. And from being an outsider looking in, I mean, you got my attention when you started having an interest in the Adelaide Lightning.
Yeah.
So I saw all these players, and me, not much of a hooper. Was a baller? A baller? Oh, not a baller. Me as one of the guys sitting there, guys, noticed all these tall blokes, and you guys were there, and you introduced yourself, and I was like, okay, because then I started watching the 36er game. So welcome to Adelaide. It's a small stint, but a very memorable one. Yeah,
obviously I've been here now for 3 years, and I really thought this would be home for the rest of my life. But again, that's a part of sport and a part of life. And yeah, relocating now across the ditch to New Zealand, and hopefully we can, try and compete for a championship over there.
You, other than basketball, you're a hustler. You're a big-time hustler. Like when I first started to speak to you, I mentioned something, bang, you followed me up literally later that day. And I've got to give you credit for that, because whatever happens on the court seems to flow outside of the court. You got lots more aspirations outside of court. What's some of the things that excite you about business?
A bit of stuff, obviously. I think number one is training the next generation of kids. I think when I was younger, I had someone who would push me, but I think everyone now thinks they're a basketball trainer, and they say, hey, come train with me and you'll become this or this, but they've never played or never been part of something top level. And I think you can give that direction and mentorship to some. I've got a few kids that I'm hoping they can go to college as long as they keep performing the way they have been. That's number one. Number two is obviously building my house in Roseworthy as an investment property. Just kind of learning the whole procedure behind that. I think I do want to do a builder's license sometime in the next few years.
Really?
Yeah, just to kind of, understand it a bit more. It's very fascinating. I'm documenting my house being built, and it's actually pretty sick. I was there the other day, and, just the way they work and who comes and who goes and, what they're up to, that kind of interests me. And then just kind of getting my feet, meeting great people, especially here in Adelaide, that are so well connected to. Obviously, we talk about Benny Fitz. He introduced me to someone who does Zambreros, and I might have a little percentage of that in the next one to come. So, yeah, it's just little things I want to be involved in, because basketball's not forever, and if you can meet good people and use your platform to kind of build your brand, it kind of helps you once you're retired to know what direction you're going in.
Well, you've got a personal brand, JBLYDJ.
Yeah, 3J Academy. Yeah. So it was funny because
talk how that bloody come about. So do you think you're a bit of a fashionista?
No, I always thought you could make a lot of money selling merch.
Yeah.
So when I came out of college, well, let me backtrack 1 second. When I was in my senior year of college, I used to shoot a lot of logo threes. So it was either logo or DJ.
Hey, for people, because a lot of my fans probably have, but so you have the 3-point line, and then past that there's logos, and they call them logo threes. I'd never heard that. But Steph Talbot hit one, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's what a logo 3 is. All right.
Yeah, so I used to hit many of them in college, and someone mentioned, oh, yeah, you're 3J now, because you shoot them from deep. And I was like, that's actually a smart name that I'm going to try, trademark it. And I couldn't trademark it in the US because CJ McCollum had it. So once I came to Australia, I trademarked it here. and no one can steal it now. So ended up doing my academy, which still runs really well here in Adelaide and runs well in Melbourne.
Can you fill us in what your academy is?
Yeah, so the 3J Basketball Academy. So I have a lot of kids that go through there, and I train throughout the week. And again, falls under like that mentorship. I originally started in Melbourne. I wanted to start where I kind of started playing basketball, and we have so many kids in there that it's hard to fit everyone in. So sometimes you have to turn people away. But then I started here in Adelaide, and I think now you can mentor older age group to kind of push them to college, because that's where the money is now, and a free degree. So if they can get a full scholarship with a bit extra money, why not do that? And then you can always come back and play NBL or WNBL or go play pro elsewhere. So, yeah, that's what it is.
What sort of age are you for those academies?
From anywhere from the ages of 10 to 18.
Okay.
Sometimes I train kids who are 20. Sometimes I train kids who are 8. It's just you got to be dedicated. It can't just be a one-off. I hate doing one-offs.
Yeah.
I'd rather see growth for someone in a 3, 4, 5 month stretch rather than you come for 2-3 weeks and that's it.
Your clothing line. Now, I find it fascinating. I've got zero fashion sense, zero. And when I think, clothing line, I've just recently watched the Netflix with Shaq and Reebok. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I
have. How bloody cool is that? It's really, as he comes across exactly. I got a bit of claim to fame. I met Shaq. We were in the bar foyer, Super Bowl. It's about 3 a.m. and had a few drinks. And I was sitting there, and I was like, look at the size of that guy. And I was like, that's Shaq. And I jumped up because he was about to go. He's the elevator. He's ducking. He's huge.
Yeah.
He is huge. And I ran over, and his security said, no. I said, mate, I'm all the way from Australia, mate. And Shaq turned around. He turned around and goes, all right. I got a photo with him in the elevator shaft. Yeah, there you go. So when I watched that, I'm like, oh, look at that. That's amazing, because he knew all about what Reebok was, and he just reintroduced what Reebok used to do. And it's one of those things. Most business ideas are like the revolving circle. If it's not fashionable now, it will be. What makes your decision on your clothing? What sort of clothing is it?
No, it was just more just to sell a couple of shirts, couple of tees, just to see what it was like. And a lot of people supported it. But obviously I've stopped that because it's just a bit too much. But I'm working with, someone else who's involved with the Lightning, Vin.
Of course.
He does.
Mate, Vin is like, he's everywhere. He's like, I reckon I'm going to get him a shirt like Batman.
Yeah, so he's got actually a few connects in terms of great clothing that's really good for your skin, but also good for the environment. So that might be like a relaunch. So obviously talking with one of my best mates who are also, hint, hint, filming your documentary, about starting our clothing brand, and we've kind of picked out a few names, but we just got to make sure everything aligns properly. We just don't want to half-ass things, and if we can come out something and say that's sustainable for the environment, good for your skin, and have a meaning behind it, I think it'll blow up pretty well. Yeah,
it's fascinating. I think because your career, I got a couple of mates that are pro athletes. The actual career is so small. The window is so small, and if you're injured, then that backs it up even worse. So you have to maximize. And the thing I love about you is you hustle, and you hustle into multiple things, and you're not afraid to dabble in trying to get a deal done for whatever the reason. And from what I've seen, it's not all about you as the reason. It's maybe a bigger picture.
Yeah, I mean, look, you talk about
where
hustling.
did this come from? Would you have parents that were bloody hustlers for you?
Not hustlers, but hard workers.
Well, that's hustling, hard work.
In the sense of, obviously, my parents are immigrants. We're all immigrants of this country, and they left the war in 96.
Hang on. Did they come over with a skill, or did they just randomly come here?
No, they actually fled to Canada first and then got a job here. So
that's okay. So they're working.
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's
they
fine.
work hard. They work hard.
No problem.
So my dad obviously worked a full-time job. My mum worked 2 jobs to kind of provide for my sister and myself. So I think it's just instilling that hard work. I always say I'll sleep when I'm dead, or I sleep a lot less than I need. But again, I still perform when I need to. But again, basketball isn't everything. I learned it my first year in the league where I tore my Achilles. My career could have ended then and there, and I still had things to back up, like my masters and all that. But now that I've created a bit of more of a brand and a platform, I could retire tomorrow and set myself off to do bigger and greater things outside of basketball.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. You've got a couple of leads everywhere, and one of the other ones, I don't know, is your chocolate milk and your strawberry milk.
Yeah, so Bubba's milk.
But so Bubba's milk, what you don't know is my old man is a strawberry milk tragic, right? And you've been saying, I got this drink, blah, 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 hustling, didn't let it go. You're like, all right. So he ended up getting a couple of cans, put them in the fridge, and then Dad was in, and Mo came in, and I go, oh, watch this. I bet if it's any good, you'll get the real impression straight away. Because Dad, my old man will drink over 2 litres of strawberry milk a week.
I don't know how people do that, man. I get sick.
He wakes up in the middle of the night, like 1 a.m, he'll eat strawberry Freddo frogs and go back to bed. Like he's a weird man. But anyway, he cracks open this bottle, this little can, and he goes, oh, that's really good. And then I gave him the story about it. He's like, oh, no, that guy gets his hands on everything. I said, yeah, he does.
Yeah, so I was approached by that company. Obviously, they're Serbian as well. They approached me and said, look, would you like to be an ambassador? And I've tried it before because they sell them in like a little convenience store here. So
really?
I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, cool, let me try.
Well, hang on. I've got a hunch they'd be sold in Drake's.
Oh, they will. Yeah. But like all Serbs help each other. So this guy just ordered a pallet just to see if it would sell.
What was that? All Serbs help each other?
Serbs. And then, it ended up being fire. And I liked it. And obviously it's great for after games. It gives you more of a benefit than obviously protein shakes. And yeah, I just enjoyed it. So they asked, oh, do you have any connection? I said, yeah, I know the man JP Drake. Let's see if we can pull over the line. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be in Drake's now.
Yeah, absolutely. The category manager was on holidays, and was it the owner that was contacting me?
Yeah, that was the owner.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, I was trying my best to dodge and duck and dive, but I think it's great. In fact, it's the only chocolate milk in a can.
Correct.
And strawberry milk. Yeah. So if it's a bit of a point of difference, give it a run, see how it sells. It sells. Happy days.
They're going to sell, obviously they're selling 250 ml, and then they're going to come out with a 500 ml one as well.
Okay.
So maybe your old man liked that one better.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, won't load his fridge up full of bloody cans, getting his 10-cent bloody return. And then when we look at the basketball scene, one thing I've learned very quickly with basketball, and obviously with the Adelaide Lightning, you get attached to players and then they go. And it's a bit of a interesting field because with supermarket game, you know, you want people to stay with you, you want people to grow with you. With professional sport, I've noticed it's a bit more cutthroat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can be here 1 minute, then you're gone to next, and you know I'm a perfect example of that. And obviously, my time in Adelaide has been cut short, but I gave everything I possibly could. I came here when no one wanted to come here. They were 1-7 and struggling to even make finals after they've been spending a lot of money in previous years to try and make it. And obviously, we were competitive last year, making the play-in and nearly made the semis. And obviously, this year you lose in Game 5 for the finals. So it's a part of sport, it's a part of life, but you move on. And I'm excited to be joining the New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah, and congratulations on that signing. Very sad to see you go, but as I mentioned, that's how it goes. The finals. Big rivalry. Media made you look like a big villain. Well done to you, I think, because that come across as like, this guy's a bad guy, and there's obviously a few things going on around the club. But you made some clutch plays in those finals. Let's forget about Game 1. But some clutch plays went down in those finals, and a lot of that is credited to the team and the way you work around the team. And you can see the team, they look up to you from an outsider looking in. I'm not involved with the Adelaide 36ers, you're saying that. And having a look how people look up to you as a co-captain, it's very testament to you for such a young bloke under the age of 30 still.
Yeah, I am. I just turned 29 3 days ago, so yeah, I'm still under 30. No, but that's the whole point I came here. It was like, how can you influence winning and being a leader? And then you talk about being involved in the community and people view you as a role model and a great human being. So, you know, the media can perceive you in a whole different way, but if people would ask, 99% of people here in Adelaide what kind of person I am, they'd give you the positive answers. So, again, media likes to twist stories. They like to do things. But, again, a lot of people forget, my semi-final series obviously averaged 20 a game and then had a good Game 4 against, Sydney and Adelaide to kind of push Game 5. So people usually forget about that. They always want to talk about the negative and never give you praise when you've done great things.
Well, it was interesting. In Game 5, Adelaide, I was watching it up the Murray Bridge, and actually looked like you're going to win. And I'm not, there's no specific point, but, that last layup of Bryce Cotton, if that gone in, it's a totally different story. And it's amazing. We call it sliding doors moment. It looked like, well, there was no foul call, which because there wasn't, they clearly made sure they weren't going to foul Cotton. And, it's just like that. Done.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were up 4 with about 40 seconds to go. I think the big turning point is when Kendrick Davis got the blood nose. It kind of allowed them to regroup. They called another timeout to kind of just settle everything down. I think that's when the momentum kind of shifted. Obviously, we gave up an offensive rebound and a putback, and then we were one layup away from winning the championship. And obviously, we ran out of legs in the overtime. But again, we did everything possible to push it to a game 5 because everyone doubted us, from the start. Obviously, doubted us in the semis. They thought we were going to get swept by Southeast. We won 2-1. They thought we were going to get swept after Sydney, especially after game 1 where you lose by 44. You push it to 5 games. So I think it's a true testament of what the guys were able to achieve, the coaching staff, what they were able to do in terms of changing tactics and whatnot. And, we nearly did it for the city of Adelaide. And
quite remarkable. It was great for an outsider looking in. Some of those games, the 2 games I went to in Adelaide, were phenomenal. And it was great to see the rivalry, to be honest. I liked it. And, it's fair to say I hate most of the players on Sydney. No, I don't hate them.
Hate's a strong word. Maybe dislike.
Yeah, dislike. Maybe only when they play us. But it was good to see. And there's some amazing firepower, but we're not here to talk about that. Interesting part for you, you were a late bloomer to basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I was introduced to the game when I was about 12 years old. My sister started a couple of years before me. She's 4 years younger, and I went to a school where footy was number 1, obviously cricket 2, and obviously all the other Aussie sports, and basketball was never a talking point. And when I moved schools to hers, basketball was number 1. It was crazy.
Wow.
And we used to get there early, play basketball, recess basketball, lunch, and sometimes when you finish school, you go straight to the basketball courts just to shoot some hoops before you get picked up. So, yeah, basketball just became, I don't know, that's where I met a lot of my best mates, and we decided to play, and then I ended up being kind of good at it, and kind of when I was 15 decided to pursue a career in it, and here I am today, so playing basketball for a living.
So is it fair to say your sister's a better basketball player?
She's a better shooter than me, but as a basketball player, I don't think so. But again, we're all unique in our own ways, and she's, again, playing professionally as well in Melbourne, becoming a Masters of Physio as well, so she does a bit of everything. So again, women's sport, it's a bit hard because they don't get paid like the men do. I think that's why us players kind of need to advocate for kind of a bit of equality in my case, just because there are talented female athletes out there that should be getting paid high-level dollar, especially now you've seen the WNBA. They were able to renegotiate their CBA, and now, people are making millions and millions of dollars, and especially a couple of Aussies like Ezzy. And, it's a big testament to what people do, and you just got to keep pushing for change.
And let's talk about women in sport. I've come along for the journey of the Adelaide Lightning, and it's been quite remarkable to see that journey in such a short last-minute period of time. A bit more excited about what's to lie ahead for this year. You're an ambassador for the Adelaide Lightning. So how did, I don't think you've took that lightly. How did that all come about?
I mean, when I first came in here to Adelaide, I was like, all right, what can I do to kind of get away from basketball a little bit? And obviously the women play, AFL's on, you go to the Adelaide United games. Like, I wanted to kind of get my feet and watch every sport as I could. And I kind of liked the Lightning games back in the day. Obviously, Isabel Borlace, obviously being a local talent. And then obviously you guys have rebranded this year and moved stadiums. And I think it's just drawn so much attention. And obviously getting a couple of my teammates involved, a couple of coaches involved, and obviously the people around like yourself and Mo and Benny Fitz, and getting to meet great people and kind of push that, because if it wasn't for my sister in basketball, like, who knows, I would never come to Adelaide or never play the game, and who knows what I'd be doing.
So thank your sister for getting you into that for the countless hours. I think it's interesting to see from a total outsider coming into the situation and looking at women in sport. I'd never really noticed the inequity, is that right? Inequality or whatever. And I never actually noticed it until I was involved in it. And it doesn't necessarily mean the talent on the court. It's the things that happen behind the scenes. It's the the companies out there quite willing to throw their money at the men's sport, but not the women's sport. And it's the continued, we'll support you, but when you actually ask, they don't. And I was trying to figure out why that is. I mean, we came to Adelaide, we were getting 100, 200 people at a game, and now they were full. 17, 1,800 people, almost full, give or take. And the last game, considering we didn't make the finals, was the most tickets that we'd sold tickets. Like, that's a bit different than comp tickets. And for me, it was like, we're doing something right. It feels like we're doing something right. The team feels like it's heading into the right direction. What's your thoughts on that from what you've seen?
Yeah, I just think, obviously, the talent, number one. I think having a girl like Dallas Lawbridge from out of state come into Adelaide and embrace being like a local and wanted to play for the club, and she ends up having a great year. And she wins, I think, the Rising Star or whatever award it's called. And I think just the rebranding, like the different colours, and obviously, you talk about the history, but the last few years they haven't been successful. They've been, bottom 2, bottom 3. Like, how can you change that? And you rebrand a little bit, you kind of put the eyes back with the kids. The kids are the ones who come and watch, and you do a lot of meet and greets and the camps and whatnot, and you get to meet your idols, you get to meet your player you always looked up to. So, I think you've done really well, and it's just going to continue like that. Like, I give it a couple more years, and you might be playing in the entertainment centre full time.
Well, that's the goal. More numbers. It's a pretty simple equation. The more you can fill up a crowd, that's one. You can get sponsors, that's another avenue, but the streaming seems to be where it's at, and currently that's not at the highest for the WNBL, but it looks like we're definitely working on getting that bigger and bigger and bigger moving forward, with a lot more other things coming into play. So my first introduction to women's sport was, it is a bit unfair.
Yeah.
You should get paid what you deserve, and I keep saying, and I said to the team, the more streams, the more eyeballs, the more people you're generating, the more you'll get, and that's coming with time. And it's great to see what's happened over in the States, because we usually follow America in some roundabout way.
Yeah, I mean, look, you talk about the streaming services. I think that's got to go up a notch, but it's also like, what else is the Players Association or the league doing for players outside of the game of basketball?
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, you'd earn anywhere between 20,000 to like 50,000. All right, but you can't live off that. So what can we do for a girl like Dallas Lawbridge, who's from out of town? Does she want to go in the media? Does she want to coach? Does she want to go back to uni? Like, how are they supporting these type of girls to earn more money in the near future, other than just playing the sport of basketball?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that I know Mo and I bringing towards the team is, how do we have this making money? Because clearly it's not going to work on sponsorship and ticket sales. How are we going to have a vehicle that's enough to be able to pay the ladies more? And I think that will come. They'll come in time. There's training camps. There's, looking at other countries. There's so many different things that we can bring as a different sort of way of looking at it. No basketball background at all. I think it's a bit of a different way to look at it. Women, the WNBL's had a 130% increase in viewership over the year. So that is a big number, but you could say it's a small base.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it comes down to the players in the NBL, and when guys women and men who come back into the country to watch, I think that's who needs to promote it more. Like, hey, come out and watch. Like you saw, obviously a couple of us 36ers coming out and watch. The coaches, you look in Perth, they go out and watch. A couple of the Southeast boys go and watch the Southside Flyers. Like we want to watch. Yeah. Like, it's good entertaining basketball, and it gives us something to do as well. I think it's great style of basketball. Women, female. Like, I was speaking to a couple of your guys there, the 36ers, and I'm sitting there going, these bitches are tough. And he goes, I wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I remember watching one game where they really got into it. Like, Jasmine Fidger got hit on the screen, and next thing you know, she goes and barges the girl the next play. Like, and it's like, you did it to me, I'm going to do it to you. Like, you don't see that in the men's game. So I just think, it's a feisty one, but it's competitive as well.
Yeah, and that's I watch it, and it's so the males have I like, obviously everyone likes dunking, right? But the males seem to have that more strength to do that, where the women have a bit more finesse. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I think the women sometimes shoot better than the men, and I don't know. It's just they just bring good quality stuff to the game. I think there's up and coming, like we talk about Dallas, and there's so many up and coming young talent. Like,
Dallas, Strawberry, Taylor,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of young kids that we'll be looking at for this year, which are even younger than all of those. So it's about, what we're trying to do is have a junior development program there. So when a kid's playing basketball, they go, I want to play for the Adelaide Lightning, preferably a female. And then that gives her the opportunity to go through the whole gamut, which they haven't had. So very excited to be doing that. Shooters. Now, you're a shooter. Are most shooters a little bit delusional?
Not really. Maybe some, but I'm definitely not.
You might miss 4, then you're actually shooting in your mind knowing you're going to hit the next one.
Yeah, I think the mentality is like whatever you do off the court allows you to replicate it in a game. I think I work too hard in my personal sessions or in team practices to care if I go 0 4 or 0 5, because I know I have confidence in myself that the next one will go in.
Yeah, so hence the delusional part, but that's a prior preparation, right? So let's not worry about that. If you've played in who's the best shooter that you've seen in the NBL?
Probably best one I've watched, probably myself and Chris Goulding.
Yep.
Up there. Trying to think of any. Angus Glover would be up there too. Plays for Southeast. So there's a bit of talented shooters out there. So
it seems like the shooters are they the golden childs of the team?
No, not really. When they need a big shot, though, they're expected to hit it because it doesn't matter if you play 30 minutes or 5 minutes. That's our job to do, to put the ball in the hole. And, yeah, whenever they need a 3, I guess we're called upon.
So if we go back, you were over in the US for a while. What sort of basketball were you playing over there?
Yeah, so I went to college for 4 years at the University of Miami and got to play in the ACC, which is the best college conference, and got to play against the likes of Duke and North Carolina, and obviously they produced many NBA talents across the years. And obviously when I went over there, everyone thought, he's going to do 1 year and go elsewhere because he can't compete. And it took me 2 years to kind of adjust myself, get used to it, and ended up averaging double digits across the next 2 years. And I wish COVID didn't happen because I did have 9 NBA draft workouts planned that, fell through because of COVID, and decided to sign with the Sydney Kings, and that's kind of where my pro career just started from. And yeah, I enjoyed my time in college. I've got 2 degrees and a master's degree, so I've done my time in school.
So with college over there, I mean, you watch the games; they look mega. Like as in regards to the crowds, the kids must go pretty crazy for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now they're getting it's called something. They're getting paid now. Where they weren't originally paid.
Yeah, so for my time. Even before then, you weren't allowed to even go out with a meal and a coach pay for you because that'll be classified as, bad, and then you can become ineligible, where now people can make millions and millions of dollars off your name, image and likeness, and it's changed the game completely.
So are the college games getting bigger crowds than the NBA games?
Absolutely. College is more interesting. Like you talk about the NCAA tournament where they bring in maybe $1 to $3 billion worth, and they sell out in stadiums that play NFL. Like you'd be seated in a 50,000 seat stadium, and the nosebleeds will still cost you $500, and all you see is little dots running around.
Yeah, I temporarily fell in love with a Tennessee. Tennessee. Yeah, and the college game had 100,000.
Yeah, that's just how it is. And
it's you can't get tickets. Oh no, she could get tickets. Yeah, oh god, Red Minutes back at that time. It was a good time. All right, yeah. So moving on, Sydney Kings, couple of championships, and then the bold move to leave. Why did you leave?
I think I just wanted to kind of take a chance to see where I could go. I was getting a bit of interest for the Summer League with the Washington Wizards for number 1. I went over there and kind of had 2 good, training stints with them, and then they decided to play me on their Summer League team, and I had a couple of good games, and they brought me on in the training camp. The day before the training camp, I got cut, which I was really pissed off about because I had a contract written. It was promised all this other stuff. And, yeah, I guess that's how the business works. But they had promised this other kid who, in my opinion, wasn't as good. And they ended up giving him the spot. And, yeah, I just decided to come back to the NBL because I just didn't want to deal with all the politics and all that basketball business side of things. So I just left and wanted to play basketball regardless of the money situation.
In basketball, it's fair to say there's always politics. Whether it's the coach, the owner, the captain, the other players, there's always dramas. So you're about to embark on your next challenge, New Zealand. Beautiful place. You excited?
Yeah, I am. I mean, look, I still had one more year to run on my contract, but I guess.
No, I'm sure you'll be paid for that, mate.
Yeah,
So
that's no problem.
Happy days, mate.
But it's just
actually, I wish I could work for a year and then go somewhere else, but still be paid for that year. That would be a good thing.
Yeah, but you run a good business here, so that's not happening. Yeah, obviously they didn't see me in the direction they want to move forward, so we mutually decided to part ways, and obviously was able to have a few chat with a few teams around the league, and obviously they didn't expect me to become available, so a lot of teams were trying to scramble and see what could happen, and New Zealand kind of approached me, and I had a good conversation with the GM, Dylan Boucher, who's probably one of the best NBL players in the past, especially with New Zealand. Won, I think, 4 championships with them. And, yeah, he kind of gave me a vision, said, look, you've been really good. And I've talked to a few people in Adelaide and around the league. Like, you know, everyone talks negatively in the media. Yeah. But when you ask people in the league that actually know me and basketball, like, I'm totally different. And, obviously, I want to be good in the community. Wherever I go in New Zealand, I look forward to it. And obviously, I want to play some really good basketball. So we've got some good players, so I look forward to it.
Well, you have a lot of interests outside of basketball. But before we get to that, with the culture of a team, like when you're watching, you can sort of feel that the good energy, and then it's like, oh, a bit deflated. And you can feel that as a spectator watching a game. And basketball is one of those that it's so tight. You actually see the whole lot. Unlike football, golf or whatever, you can't actually see exactly what's going through the minds, where you can feel what's happening with the team. How important is culture in a team? And is there any club that you believe that you've been around that has a culture that you just think, wow, that's amazing?
Yeah, I think obviously when I came to Adelaide, the culture, in my opinion, was really bad. I think it had to be player-led. So we did, myself, Isaac and Bryce had a big discussion this past off-season last year of, how can we change that? And we came up with the word, what that word meant, and we kind of embraced it for the whole year. And I think that's why the playing group stayed so tight together. Like, we like to hang out on the court, hang out off the court. And I think when you hang out a lot off the court, it translates a lot easier on the court. So I think the cultural standard we had when I was with the Sydney Kings, especially in that Chase Buford era where we won back-to-back championships, we instilled what we wanted. We had the clarity of, all right, what's everyone's role? If guys who didn't play, like, your role was to kick ass in practice, and they did. Like, when we were in Sydney, our bottom 3 players were kicking ass in practice, and they would get up, they talk shit, they do whatever they did, and, like, we embraced it. Yeah. And that's what kind of made us better people. So I think that was the standard. And, yeah, any team that wins a championship is the standard, and obviously now Sydney is still the standard. I think New Zealand's got that standard still. Last few years they've been unlucky with injuries, so obviously if they stay healthy throughout the whole year, I think it's going to be happy days. So I think they can be a top 3-4 team in the league. So I look forward to it. Any
club that you've seen other than Adelaide, Sydney, and New Zealand that you've any clubs in the US that you think, oh yeah, these guys have got it, or just a bit too hard to tell?
Too hard to tell because you're not around them long enough.
Yeah.
I think you look at the NBA. I think Golden State is the standard. I think just the way they do their player development, the way they handle their stuff in the front office, their way, they handle their stuff just in general with the fans. I think that's the standard of the world today.
When you talked about going to uni over in uni or college or in the States, what have you got a master's in?
So I got a bachelor's degree in business management and economics, and then I got a master's of science of physical education. Okay,
so with your economics, do you look at stuff now and think, oh, yeah, I could be an economist, or you're a numbers man? You probably want to be a numbers man.
I'm a numbers man, but I don't really dig too deep in it. Like, I like looking at the stocks and whatnot, but it doesn't really interest me. More of like, I like being hands-on rather than trying to read numbers like that.
You strike me as that. Just, well, wanting to document building your house, I got to ask. I mean, you vaguely mentioned it before. What? Why?
What, documenting it? I don't know.
Yeah, but why? Like, you're actually doing. You're not doing the building yourself, sure?
No, I'm not building it myself. But I got a good deal with Weeks. Obviously, I knew a few people there, and they decided to take care of me. And yeah, I don't know. It just ended up. I just filmed a few things and posted on my TikTok and Instagram. People are like, oh, cool, this is cool. Then I post again, and they're like, oh, we can't wait for the next one. And next thing you know, I've got like 100 messages going, when's the next one coming? So I went there last week to film something just to see how it's all been going, and I was surprised because it's gone a lot faster than I thought it would. So I got Aaron touching it up a little bit so I can post it on my social medias hopefully this week.
So you're going to have a house built.
Yep.
You're not going to be living in Adelaide.
Not for the time being, no.
So there's going to be a investment property there.
Correct.
So that's pretty exciting. I mean, this is just layering up life outside of basketball, right?
I actually did a bit of my land was valued the other day and made a bit of money across the 2 years, and so I'm waiting for the whole house to finish so I can get that equity and buy the house I'm currently in to rent that one out too. So it's a building kind of your platform.
And going to New Zealand, I mean, what are you looking for a place, or how does that work? Because you're only there for 6 months of the year, right?
About 8 months.
8 months.
8 months because I signed a 1 year deal. So I'm supposed to head over in the next week or two just to check it out and meet people and just to get to know everyone. And I'll have a look at a few places, but I think I'm just going to get some small apartment in the city, just so I'm close to where we play and where we train, so I can venture out a little bit if I need. But again, it's 8 months. It's work, so I look forward to it.
Serbian background.
Yep.
There was a Serbian restaurant in the city that I'd been to. I think it's closed now. Gruja Street, Goat Street, down the end. Barbecuing.
Oh, the Silver Brewing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still open.
Oh, is it? Oh,
They're only open on specific days, so Serbs only work part-time, I'm telling you right now.
It was awesome. It was like barbecue, right?
Yeah,
It was, and a whole lot of dips. It was my sort of food. I love eating that sort of shit.
Yeah, like obviously they all go to the same butcher, Osman's Butcher, down near Grand Junction Road, and get all their meats from him. And yeah, that's what we're known for. We like our meats. Obviously, Chuapi's the main one. We like our dips. Obviously, we make different types of pastries with cheese and spinach and whatnot. So, and we got some pretty cool desserts too.
We had some. It's more than that. Some alcohol, dude. It was
Rakia.
What's that called?
Rakia.
Rakia. Oh, fucking hell, mate. That was an experience.
It's like petrol, but it's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway, it was good. Other food than what's your favourite? What do you like eating? And are you one of these people that I love eating and I like making something like if I have a meeting around, I can do around lunch, bang, I'll do that, and I'll want to pick where we're going. And I'm very, because obviously in the food game, we sell lots of food, and pretty much anyone can sell food. Anyone can sell fruit, veg, and not anyone, but anyone can sell meat. It's then the experience that happens once that goes back to someone's house or into a restaurant or something like that. So food's got a very valuable place in my mind. Where's it sit in your level of you just eat it because you have to? Or?
No, I love my food. I think I'm really into my mum's cooking and my partner's cooking. My partner makes some fire, like chicken schnitzels, like homemade chicken schnitzels, yeah. I mean, she cooks all good food. Like, she loves a seafood pasta as well.
Okay, like a marinara?
Yeah, like she makes some good stuff. Her lamb chop little recipe that she's got with, like, the marinating and how she does it is fire. She just does everything, man. Like, obviously, I buy the groceries, she cooks, and then I clean. So, like, there's a good little process.
Yeah, that's
it.
I buy Nat, my wife. She's not into cooking at all. Like, she does it because she has to, because we've got kids. But if not, I don't think she'd do it. But I love cooking. I love that time. But yeah, and I'm always in a cleaning up.
What's your go-to dish?
Now there's a new ramen joint opened on Isa Street called Tokabon. Huh? This place is good. Like, how's it spelled? Toriok. And these guys, they do 100 bowls for lunch and 100 bowls for dinner. That's it. You all sit in one room. There's 14 or 16 chairs. No booking, and just have to rock up. And it is the best ramen I've ever had and I've eaten thousands of bowls of ramen, like all over the world, and it is fire. Do you like soup?
Yeah.
You'll fucking love it. You better go there before you go home. I was going to swing by past there today, but you obviously got a few things you have to sort out. But it is. I'm a pho. I like my pho soups. I like my ramen. I'm a noodle. I guess I'll confess it here. I'm probably one of the best chicken wings makers in the world. Yeah, proven and judged by myself.
Might have to try them.
Yeah, so a lot of people are in that line, but I watched My Kitchen Rules once. No, MasterChef, and this bloke made them. I was like, come on, mine are better than that. So then I went down the rabbit hole of producing chicken wings. I had different names for them depending on what sauce. Yeah, look, it's not about me here, but I got right into it because I've come to the conclusion in life, not many people actually find something they love doing.
Yeah.
And when you do, you need to grab it and run with it, because I think I speak to a lot of people, they're just not happy, right? No, they don't like this, they're earning big money or whatever, but they're just not happy. It's like, well, you got to do things that really make you happy. What makes you happy?
Just other things in life other than basketball. I think there's family, there's friends, there's like, how can you build your platform moving forward? Because again, you got to be able to guide your kids or your kids' kids to understand, this is what I created. You can do the same if you actually put your mind to it. Like, people don't understand that.
Yeah, but it's very, and I'm almost half a century old, and it's taken a while to really sit. And I hear my dad, when you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like, when you love what you do, you never. And I'm like, Dad, that's so lame. Like, where the do you come up with this shit? But the more you look at it, the more you're right. Like, if I'm going to go work 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day for someone, I want to be bloody enjoying that, or I'm really wasting my life, because before you know it, you're dead.
We're very robotic and we live in a comfortable world. So whatever you wake up, you go to work, and you come home and you just relax.
Yeah,
and people don't want to work hard. And it's usually those who change something in their life to make the better for themselves end up being the most successful.
Yeah, and I look at opportunities we give to people, our team that work with us now, right? They might be given an opportunity and they're comfortable doing what they're doing. You're going to give them more money, but they're going to have to be a manager, right? So they go from that position, like not a manager to a manager. They're like, well, you're going to get more money. You got potential to grow, and being a manager, you get so many other perks to the job. Like, I don't know how many managers we've sent to Super Bowl and stuff like that. Like, they're almost money can't buy, but they're probably $40,000 tickets. And how many people we've sent to the grand final, to Formula One, to Wimbledon. Like, we very lucky in retailing. And then and I'm not saying the kids are today, because we got so many guns like working with us. It's incredible. You go around our store and there's so many young kids, like 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds that show that fire. But there's also a branch since COVID that have said, I don't want that pressure. I don't want that extra responsibility. I don't want that extra money, because I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. I don't know. I look at that and I've never been like that. Yeah. I've always wanted more, always wanted more money, always wanted to do more. I can't sit still. I probably have ADD or something like that, but I was like, that's just normal, right? And now people are medicating against that. Like, I'm blown away.
Because they don't want people to be different from others. They're trying to keep everyone the same. Live a comfortable life, do this, do that. That's why I say if you change for the better, you just like, people who are successful are all the same, because they want to work hard, they're hungry, they want to change lives.
Yeah, because it doesn't become about you, it's becoming about everything that you're building.
I mean, with Drake's, like, it's like a village. Like, everyone's got to take care of each other, make sure you strive for the next person, because once someone comes into that village, you're like, all right, cool, this is where we're going to try to get you to, and they'll push you to that. Now, they might feel, I don't want this, and they'll leave, and that's fine. But again, if they really want to, they'll buy into what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think the biggest drawback of that is someone feeling threatened. Now, I would go an older school more mentality is that, Dad, I got to give credit to Dad. Like, I actually don't know how old he is. He's not 80, but he's up there. He always says you need to train your 2IC to be better than you. And, you can hear that. You can take that for whatever it is, but he truly means making sure that the next person to take that role is better. Because if something comes up, you can go. Like, yes, because we feel comfortable. But I find a lot of the elderly people are a bit scared to teach younger people exactly their whole role, because they're worried they're going to take it. is that what it's like in basketball?
Not really, because you got to keep in mind, like, if you're on the same team, you're after the same goal. So you got to nurture the young fellas a little bit, especially being a veteran leader. And I think you got to nurture the next generation. So that's why I train a lot of kids, because, you know, who's the next Bryce Cotton, who's the next Chris Goulding, who's the next Josh Giddey? Like, how can we help these kids get to their dreams? Because, again, cost of living is high. You know, people don't get the same opportunity. Everyone thinks they're a basketball trainer, like I said. So what do you do? How do you create a pathway for someone like that?
Do you know, in our game, egos, it's not a dirty word, but how much ego is required to make it as a professional basketball player?
You got to be... I've actually had this conversation before. I think basketball is the only sport, or the highest sport, in the sense of your ego runs everything. So, like, you know, like if you don't have an ego, I don't think you can be successful. So you have to have some bit of it. Like, for me, it's like someone might say, oh, this guy's better than you. All right, prove it then. Because I know what I can do. So my ego will tell me, okay, I'll show you that I'm better than him to prove a point. Then what are you going to say?
That's a great way to look at it, because that's exactly how I feel when I'm walking around. I'm good at what I do. I wasn't good enough to be running, Drake. So we had to identify someone that is going to be good at that talent. That talent is following up and making sure everything is done and having a good operational background. Where for me, it's like I believe that the ego component is necessary to be successful. And you saying it exactly like that's true. How do you balance that ego with being humble? I
think there's a sense of in business versus your personal. So, like, in business, you got to have the ego, because it's an industry. Like, anyone can come take your job at any time. Where off the court, how can I be viewed as a great person, a great leader, good in the community? And I think I've done that here in Adelaide, to the point of, when I posted that Instagram post of saying goodbye, or pretty much like a see you later. Yeah. Everyone's the positive, confident comments I got, the people messaging me, it was like, dude, I now really felt it. Like, yeah. And that's why I'm disappointed that I have to leave, because I would have loved to retire for the rest of my life. Yeah. Well,
I'll say it's not over yet. It's still you got a long time. Well, how many more years have you got?
I reckon I've got 9 more years in me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I always told myself I want to play 15 years as a pro. So I've done 6. I think I can push another 9.
You feel sore?
No, not really. It's just taking care of your body, doing all the little things, eating right, keeping your mental normal. So,
not reading comments of people that don't. Yeah, I just don't read comments, and I definitely don't take advice from people that don't know me. I notice you've been in a few online, not scandals, but just people making comments about you.
I mean, not just about me, but I think it's just the organisation, a couple of the players. I mean, what do you want us to do? Like, seriously.
Yeah, like
people keep trying to create a story after a story. Like, we keep proving you wrong and wrong, so just shut up.
Absolutely. And I think the best way I've seen of dealing with that is Bogarts walking through the Adelaide airport.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That actually made me crack up a little bit, because
I lost it. What? Oh, my God. My old man, and he's not into basketball at all, he goes, did you see Bogart walk? I said, yeah. That was probably one of the most golden media moments I've ever seen in my life. Of like, yeah, because, you can't actually, you got to play the game, and you can't actually take everything to heart as well, by the way. And like you said, people are trying to shoot you down. And it's so much worse for a professional athlete. I've had Charlie Dixon on the podcast, and, they just want to attack you the whole time, and they forget about how many years you've been playing football for.
It's because everyone thinks they know the sport that people are playing in. Like, for us, like, they tell me, oh, you can't shoot this. I was like, here's my basketball shoes. You go and make what I can do, and then come talk to me.
Mate, you wouldn't be on the team if you couldn't play. It's simple as that. And you hope the best players are there. That's how it usually works. Throw in a few politics. F1's got Lance Stroll. His dad owns the team. Would Lance be driving if his dad didn't own the team? Probably not. But everyone's got politics.
There's always politics, egos, whatever you want to call it. No matter where you work, what industry you do, you just got to, get over it.
Trash talking in basketball, I think it's a great idea. You don't quite hear it all on TV, and you don't hear it all when you're watching it. Is there anyone that's good at trash talking that can back it up? Or is that just not? Trash talking is probably a bad word. You'll probably get in trouble for that.
I think trash talking is good for the sport as long as it's not directed personal, like any personal comments, family, friends, or whatever related. I think it's good for the sport. I think KD does a really good job. Sometimes he'll say something and then go out and perform well. I don't know. It's just very interesting. So.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was something about it was actually a Jordan thing, and someone was giving him shit because he hadn't scored or had whatever, and then he just went and lit up 40 points in the last half or something like that. And it was someone going, "Yo, this is what he said." I think that's amazing. I
think it's more of a mental game though.
Yeah,
I remember this story. Kobe Bryant once said when Gilbert Arenas got fouled and went to the free throw line. He goes, "You better make both because if we go down the other end, I'm going to hit the game winner." And he missed both. And then Kobe went down and hit the game winner. So I think it's a mental challenge as well.
Is that what happened? Do you think that's what happened to the bloke that missed for Sydney? Game 3, I think it was. Like the 2 free throws. He got the first one. I looked like he pretended. He looked like he meant to miss. No, it was game 4.
No, it was game 2, actually.
Went back to Sydney for the final because I don't know. Call me not a pessimist. I reckon. Where would you want to win your final, in the hometown or no? I want to win.
I'm not going to lie. That was the loudest we've heard it though in that stadium.
Was it?
Sometimes it can rattle you a little bit.
Wow, I was one of that loud, mate. You should see the footage of me jumping over the sides. I had to hold on to the roof there because I was about to fall off the thing. Anyway, all right. Let's pull things. Well, I got a heap of questions from fans, by the way. Actually, I had a mate come up with a good idea. He said I should have had a hotline and then go, okay, call now, and then we just answer some calls.
No, we'd be here all day if we did that, so it's probably the best we did it.
Yeah. All right, I think it's a great idea. Well done, Lincoln. You actually surprised me very much so. So, okay, I'm going to ask you that one for your last question, but do you want to, we've got some fans here.
Yep.
How was Bryce Cotton as a teammate?
No, he's good. He's actually, you see the work he does behind the scenes, and it shows why he's a 6-time MVP and why he's the best player. Like, he takes everything seriously. He does everything routinely. Like, he's quiet, but he's a killer pro. Yeah,
he was at Adelaide Lightning game, and it's bad. I didn't know. I was like, but it was amazing how many young kids coming up to him, and he was signing stuff, and it just seemed like a really cool guy. Jonathan, he's a Drake's manager of ours. How important is it to help grow the WNBL and why? P.S. Go Lightning.
I think it's very important. I think, as I said, the inequality of, women versus men. I think if you can kind of close the gap in the difference and allow them to kind of have a platform, and again, it has to come from the NBL players to keep pushing and keep growing it, because that's the only way it's going to draw more eyeballs. Like you talk about the viewing and all that, I think that's the only way to do it. And I think the why is, again, it's the generations to come. Like, people want to be the next Dallas Lawbridge or the Steph Talbots of the world. So what we need to create that platform to keep going.
Yeah. From you might guess who this from. Who is your favourite Lightning ambassador, and why is it Ben Fitzsimmons?
I met Benny Fitz when I first came to Adelaide and didn't realise how big of a person he actually was. He does a lot more than people think he does. But no, he was just good for me in terms of mentorship and just helping me with the business side of things. But yeah, no, he's a great guy, and obviously Lewis's boy. And yeah, we've trained a little bit together. We've hung out, so it's been cool.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I'm not going to talk about him because he's the behind-the-scenes man. There's plenty of comments about, so sad to see you go, we miss you, we want you back. What's 5 things you'll miss about South Australia? I'll just say, what's 3 things you'll miss about South Australia?
The people, 1. 2 is the relationships I've built, just with a lot of businesses and whatnot. And 3, I think, just the weather. Like, people, I think, underestimate the weather here.
Yeah, the weather's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fire. It's actually amazing. I'd rather be here than any other state, in all honesty.
Yeah, I did 10 years in Queensland when we were opening our bus stores in Queensland, and my wife loved it, but I was working that was very long hours, long days. Then we had our firstborn up there. Do you have kids?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. And then the second born here, so I got a South Australian and a Queenslander. And coming back to Adelaide, I was like, it's so good here. Other than the traffic's amazing, the food quality here is off the charts. And you can literally get anywhere. I'm saying 40 minutes. I can go, if I drive really quick, I can be at the Bend racing. I can go to the beach at Victor. I can go to a winery in McLaren Vale. I can go to you literally can cover the whole state.
Well, that's why the AFL gather round should stay here for a very long time, because everything is close in proximity and there's a lot to do. Like, what are you going to do in Sydney? What are you going to do in Queensland?
You're going to sit in traffic.
Correct. You're going to pay your tolls.
Yeah, you're going to pay your tolls. Oh, let's not dig. Mate, if we want to hammer a state, let's just hammer Melbourne and Jacinta Allen, you flog. Like, seriously. Like, oh my God. As if it can get worse. This flog comes out after spending $15 billion, I'm not talking about politics, but $15 billion with the CFMEU, and nothing happens. And then her partner is in the CFMEU. Like, this is just staggering. But sorry about everyone in Melbourne, but Adelaide got plenty of room, just no houses. Yet. Well, you're going to have another one here. DJ's going to have another one. Okay, so when all is said and done, like, everyone's at your funeral, this is a morbid day, what do you want people to say about DJ?
That's actually a good question. I've actually thought about this before. I think just a good person. I'd rather be remembered as a good person rather than a good basketball player, and just how you can impact other people's lives in a positive way, regardless of what people go through or who they are or where they're from. Yeah,
that's very powerful, and I find it takes a certain individual to be a professional athlete from the ones I've spoken to. And once they are at that stage, then they might not think it at the start, but they definitely are looking to how they can impact many others moving forward. And that is good. That is more than good. It's unbelievable. And I wish more people thought like that. Now, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this one, but if you had one shot for your life, are you taking it or passing it?
Shooting it. You're tripping. I'm shooting that thing every day of the week. I'm not going to put someone else's, ball in their hands for my life. I'd rather do it myself.
Yeah, I actually thought that would be a pretty easy answer for you. And I am curious, do you have any mentors in either business or sport that you've looked up to that have made an impression in your life?
I think you always look up to players like the Steph Currys of the world. But in the business setting, I just think the people I've met in Adelaide, like yourself and Mo and Benny Fitz, and there's been a few others, Frankie, and I've met so many people. I think when you learn from different people and you take just a little bit by bit, I think it can help you. So I thank Adelaide for that, just because of the connections I've built. And I think Adelaide's a perfect city to try and start a business, because I think everyone will support or give guidance in some sort of way that, who never knows, you might be able to be successful and then you go overseas or you go interstate. So I think not really mentors, I think just great relationship and friendships.
Yeah, Dad's made the comment to me, if you can make a business work in South Australia, you'll be able to make a business work anywhere. And I 100% believe that. It is so true. Hey, DJ, you're more than just the ex-captain of the 36ers. Fingers crossed that we do have you back in this beautiful state of ours. You've answered many things. Obviously, there's a basketball background there, but what really fascinates me about you, you're always looking for that thing that can better improve yourself and others around you. I wish you all the best with New Zealand and whatever else you get up to. I know you'll be shooting the documentary for the Adelaide Lightning, so you and your team, sorry. So we're super excited about that, and hopefully we'll have a whole segment on the 36ers there.
Hopefully we'll see you in the near future. But I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well done. Good luck.